Thanks for downloading a 3CR podcast. 3CR is an independent community radio station based in Melbourne, Australia. We need your financial support to keep going. Go to www.3cr.org.au for more information and to donate online. Now stay tuned for your 3CR podcast.
We're putting up new buildings, we're knocking down the old. We're working in the summer heat and in the winter cold. And the labour power we sell, me boys, for a hard-earned weekly pay produces mighty profits for the greedy MBA. And whether we were born here or born in Italy, in Greece, in Spain or Ireland, in England or Fiji, we all of us are workers, united we must stand, until the wealthy bludgers have been driven from our land. We faced deregistration, it backfired in the face. We're not fooled by arbitration, we won't stay in our place. We hit the bosses hard and fast to win and keep our gains, and break a couple of concrete pours to back our log of claims. So keep your powder dry and hold your head up high. It's class to class and face to face, our limit is the sky. We've got a fighting history and we never will be cowed. Our builders' labour is a name to make a man feel proud.
And it's good morning from the Concrete Gang, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed and missing the gorilla, but we've got the buzzer. Good morning, Buzz.
Back in town. We are missing the gorilla. We are missing him, but we'll take over today. We'll take control.
The true star of the show returns.
Oh, that's going to, that little bit of...
His natural humour's a bit better than mine. I'll give him that, right? He can throw a one-liner or a two-liner or a three-liner.
You don't have to be too nice. He's not here.
What?
He won't even hear it.
He reckons he couldn't pick it up from Port Melbourne too. I know what's going on down in Port Melbourne, right?
Good morning, String Bean. Good morning, Annie. Yes, we're all here at the studios of 3CR in palatial studios, I might add. We're in the big room today, and we are reporting to you on the Friday before the state election. So we can't give you any results. Let's hope Matthew Guy cops his right whack, but it will be interesting to see what happens in the Legislative Council, the upper house, and whether ratbags and idiots control the crossbenchers, or some decent people like Fiona Patton and so on get a chance to actually make a contribution. But I can see a whole lot of dickheads getting up because of the old preference whisperer.
Oh, Drury. And probably going to get a couple of Hinch characters in there. Who knows? With no votes at all. But the results probably won't be known for a while anyway, so It's no loss that we're doing this on Friday and we don't know what happened, because no one will know what happened in the upper house for a while, I suspect.
It looks like,
and even after it's declared, they won't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it looks like a mixed bag, doesn't it?
Roll your dice.
Australian Batless Party. You know, you've got a bit of everything in there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Pay $5,000 to $10,000, and you too can be a member of the upper house.
Oh, geez, we've got to come up with a better system, don't we? Really, in the upper house, don't we?
I would have thought that no one else does it like that around Australia, so they should fix it. Righto, moving along, we should mention this week, and a big cheerio to all the boys that came along to the retired members' Christmas function, which was actually held at the office in the conference centre up on the top floor. Everyone had a great day, and I think it was probably the best one we've had so far, and I think there'll be a lot more people coming along next year because the word will get around and all the retired members will be there. So it's great to see some of the blokes, and we had some very good raffle prizes. Didn't have to pay, just got a ticket, and they enjoyed the prizes, the whiskey and the wine and the rest of it. It went down a treat.
Bit of controversy on the raffle.
There was a bit of controversy on the raffle, but when you have two blue D 47s, both parties get a prize. That's how democratic
it's just
it was.
a good thing it was wine and not chickens that you were raffling off, or someone would be able to say we couldn't even organise a chook raffle.
Well, there's more than one way to organise a chook raffle. We won't go into that. Just mention also the branch meetings on this coming week. That's the final branch meeting for the year. And we should also mention, above all other matters, the picnic. It's only, a bit over a week away.
1 week and 1 day.
And so if you ain't got your ticket, you better get your ticket. $50 gets you in the door with your partner and 3 kids, and there will be a beer garden for those who are maybe coming without kids, without grandkids and so on, and need to sit down somewhere and just catch up with some mates from the industry.
And the Geelong Trotting Track, where's a new venue for the picnic down there, so stay tuned for that. And what a great way to spend the day, and a great value for your money you get. It's an absolute either way you go, any of the country ones, Ballarat, Geelong,
Bendigo,
Terrelgan. I don't think they've got Portland anymore, have we?
Yeah, Portland's on this year.
Portland's on.
It is on. Portland's
on. They're all on the same day.
Well, they struggle a bit down there with the getting. There's not a lot of construction work down there, but I'm glad to see they've still got the picnic on. And
the only one that's different is Wodonga.
Yeah.
Up in the northeast, they are a week later to go, and because there is a race meeting in Albury-Wodonga Monday that everyone else has the picnic.
And we wish our mate up there, Fozzie, all the best in the election too. Up there, he's standing up there.
You can say hello to him. Congratulations or commiserations.
Yeah, we don't know quite yet.
Either way, he'll be back on the job one way or another.
I mean, there's a lot of build up to what's going to happen in the final event, but. Let's just say we don't want to get back to the old Liberal code stuff and all. Remember the state code? The state code they introduced? We couldn't forget that, could we?
No.
That was a Nigel Hadgkiss special.
Done it through the back door.
Yeah. But Nigel's gone and the code gone when the Labor Party was elected to government, and let's keep it that way.
Matthew Guy promises he's not going to come after construction workers. Crosses his heart.
One thing that's in our favour a bit is, could he actually get a personality and smile and be, could he actually do that? He might actually get him. I don't want to encourage him to get any votes, but if he actually got that sour look off his face and actually presented himself in a nice way, he might actually get a few more votes. But
he's like a yappy little chihuahua.
Yeah.
He's just always angry. Yap, yap, yap.
His face has been sour since he had that crayfish that time.
And don't worry about it. Not only the crayfish, there's another scandal come out this week about Fisherman's Bend too. His mates down there, the rorts that went on down there, selling all the land there to his all his crony mates. And the latest one that's done right at it is the Liberal Party Federal Treasurer Andrew Burns. Right, he's made a complete bag of money down there when they rezoned the land down there pretty conveniently overnight.
Well, he might have been done over by the Labor blocking all the towers down there by now. Who knows?
Well, let's get it right for people to live in, right? We like construction.
Okay, let's move along to what we're going to call the face of capitalism, because today we've got a series of stories, not big stories, but a series of stories which demonstrate all the bad aspects of the system we live under. And first of all, let me just mention RCR Tomlinson. Now, RCR Tomlinson are an engineering firm from Western Australia who have been in existence for over 100 years. And they do a whole lot of infrastructure work. I think they're working on the Melbourne Underground Loop at the moment. They're also doing solar farms in northwest Victoria. And in August, they raised $100 million from shareholders so that they could expand their business. They already had $104 million cash in the bank, and here we are in mid-November, and they've gone into liquidation. What happened to $200 million? And all the employees employed by that company, is about 3,000 around Australia, what's going to happen with all their entitlements? It is a story and a half about how you can burn a company and still make money.
Unbelievable in this country how you can get away with that, isn't it? Unbelievable.
It is absolutely unbelievable.
There's that much of that going on at the moment, that Phoenix bankruptcy. It's just unbelievable. Right? And we're left to try and clean up the mess. And usually is a mess.
It
right?
usually is a mess. And
So over in WA, they lock up some Aboriginal kid for like stealing, I don't know, a loaf of bread or something. And a guy runs off with $200 million plus entitlements of workers and nothing. Crickets. Cicadas.
now, listen, hang on. Let's just put it in context. Into the context of capitalism on international level. The
Is that
chairman of the
code-compliant,
Commonwealth Bank was asked in the Royal Commission this week why they employed as their new CEO earlier in the year a person who had got implicated in a whole lot of untoward behaviour in the Commonwealth Bank in the division that he controlled. And the answer was, well, if we had to go internationally to find a CEO, it would have taken a lot of time. And anyway, there wouldn't be a CEO in the banking world who didn't have a regulatory problem. In other words, they're all crooks. So you might as well take the local one.
Jeez.
Happy days.
I bet you still got a few shares to go with it or something like that. Didn't you? Eh?
It's all code compliant, though.
Well, the good thing about the super thing, at least one thing, is they're on the back foot now a bit regarding, and there's a lot of pressure getting put up through the ALP and the CFMEU regarding getting banks right out of super altogether after this Royal Commission. The rorts that are going on, charging dead people, all sorts of stuff going on there, and a lot of money's been invested back into the decent super funds now. Now that they see that the industry supers are the ones that are the way to go.
That's it. Vote with your feet. Come on over. Kelly O'Liar was the board member of NAB when they were charging dead people. There you go. Put her.
She
in
didn't
a
want
good
the Royal Commission either. About 100 times said, "Nah, we don't want it. We don't need it. We don't want it. We don't need it." Right?
No wonder she was in charge when they were rorting it.
Yeah. Now, what's the next one? I'm going to go quickly over this or not?
Yeah, we're going to... No, we might do a couple of small ones and then we're going to go to your piece de resistance because we're going to play a track in the middle. Now, just quickly, Thales, the munitions makers, personally appointed by Adolf Hitler. Here they are, they're doing work, making munitions in Benalla and Bendigo, and now, because there's a little bit of building construction work goes on in these plants, which just might be paid for by the federal government, they wish to extend the building industry code to their manufacturing EBA, which means that a whole lot of things that protect people's jobs in those EBAs about the use of casuals and labour hire and all the rest of it, that will all be excluded from a manufacturing agreement, which has absolutely nothing to do with the building and construction agreement. So, okay, same old story. The capos and the government get together and basically attacking union rights. And it won't just stop with the building industry if this government keeps going.
Hang on. So you can... Having a casual worker is good, right? You can't have a permanent job. That'd be against the code. But you can have a $200 million rort company, RCR, and John Holland doesn't get any problems with that on their jobs. They're all right. That's code compliant. Ripping off $200 million, but putting someone on a permanent job is no good.
Consistency is not one of the great points to do with capitalism. Well,
I did see quickly on the drum the other night that Judith Sloan seemed to think that there's not a problem with people on casual and there's not a problem right out in the whole of society about the casualisation of workforce.
Is she on casual?
Oh,
because she's pretty useless. So
she'd have a lot of sympathy.
If she ain't on casual, maybe she's on commission.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah, put her on commission. Only pay her when she does something useful. That'd be never.
Oh.
Righto, we're going to cut to a track, the great Eddie Cochran, and for those people who can't put up with capitalism anymore, only one other option, looks like a nervous breakdown.
I'm having a nervous breakdown, a mental shakedown. I see my hands how they shiver, I see my knees how they quiver. My whole body's in a dither. I'm having a nervous breakdown.
Howdy.
Well, nervous breakdown. Brother, you nearly had a nervous breakdown this week trying to deal with the Geelong Grammar educated face of capitalism.
Oh, that was unbelievable. I went down to a meeting to represent a worker down there. I won't mention his name at the moment, but let's just say they're on the bottom end of how they get paid in the industry. Not up the top end, multiplex, pro build, all that. They do a bit of facade work on building. A company called GDP, who has a group of companies called BMU, GDP Consolidated, all sorts of companies, right? Only managed to pay about 4 or 5 people in compliance out of all of that. Anyway, I went to the meeting because they'd given 2 official warnings to a worker down there for the hideous crime of not having a lanyard on it, and they'd been taking photos of him inside a scissor lift. Also, then they mentioned that he stood on the mid-rail of a scissor lift. It's not a legal requirement to have the lanyard on there either way. I proceeded to go to this meeting, and the director there, name is Matthew Tisdall. Right, that's his name. Former Geelong Grammar boy, would you believe it or not? Born to rule. He started the meeting with, he had an IR girl, another gentleman in the corner, if you could call him that, and him in one corner, and started the meeting with, have you got a photo ID? Well, three or four times I said, I don't have a photo ID, I don't give that, I give a business card. Then he proceeded to tell the girl in the corner, mark that down as a strike against him and a letter to Fair Work Australia, and we're refusing to allow him to talk at this meeting. Well, that wasn't a great start to the meeting, and went on like that. He looked like a very stressed out sort of an individual, got a reputation of treating people very, very bad, which I can't understand in fact why they can't get over. The simple way is just treat people with respect. At the end of the day, they went out of the room, come back in, and they sacked this worker. They come up with that they believe his shittiest crime of putting his knee on the mid-rail of the swing stage, he deserved to be sacked, right? And he even said that the IR lady in the corner had left the room because she felt personally intimidated and bullied by me because I was talking at the meeting. I never once raised my voice. I never once swore. It was a real wake up call to what some of these crappy mobs down the bottom fringe of the building industry can get away with. And Matthew, I didn't find out till a bit later, is actually a former student of Geelong Grammar. He would have struggled to drive into Corio from Geelong Grammar, which is where it's set up, because that is a real working class suburb. So he would have to get someone to go down there and do his errands. He wouldn't have liked driving down there. I'm tipping he would have been given everything by his parents, this bloke. Right, that's what I'm tipping. Even after all of that, I put the hand out to shake his hand at the end of the meeting. I don't know why. I just wanted to test him out. I didn't really personally like the bloke. And he refused to. He refused to shake my hand.
Well, Buzzer, you didn't know who you were.
And then,
no photo ID. How can he? You could have been anyone.
And then he ran round the table, and I followed him round the table trying to shake his hand, and he started calling bully, right? Now it was a real wake up. So Decker, thanks for that, mate. And I understand you know this. Matthew a little bit too.
I have met him. I've got to say, I dealt with other people in the company when they did an EBA, and after this report, there's going to have to be some serious investigation into just what these people are doing. They manufacture and install building maintenance units. In other words, those cages that are thrown over the side of buildings for window cleaning, etc. And it's, I would imagine, a fairly profitable business, but obviously it ain't exactly an enlightened workplace.
That's high-risk work. I reckon we want to see whether we've got stable people running that show.
Anyway, moving right along.
I'm declaring him the winner already.
We got some Cheerios too, Buzzer.
Well, Cheerios to Wayne Wicks down in Geelong, who's been put back into hospital, and we know Wayne, former shop steward, rank and file, great activist down in Geelong. He's gone back into hospital. He's had a lot of complications from an amputation to the leg, so I wish Wayne all the best. Rennie, how do we pronounce Rennie's second name? Van Dalen. Yeah. We're wishing him all the best down there. He's getting a bit of treatment at the moment, so all the best to Rennie. And an old favourite of yours, Steve Woody.
Steve Woodhouse.
He's had a lot of complications with the transplant, and he listens to the show every week. So all the best, Steve, out there.
Yeah, he was my boss on a few jobs over the years, and known him well. And Steve, my apologies for what I did do to you all those years ago. Rather, but it was fun. We do when we get together occasionally reminisce. But I hope you get better, Steve, because Steve's been a decent fella in terms of the people who are bosses in this industry. There's a whole lot of creeps, but there's some decent people among them. And so cheerio to Steve and hope you get better soon. Righto, a quick question. Buzzer, do you know about the crane story at Caulfield?
I know a little bit about it. I know it was in wind vane.
It was in wind vane,
So
and it was in danger of flipping back onto the A-frame, but being a favelle, it actually did what it was supposed to do and did not flip back. There was a few issues. It went a bit close, but when you're straight sticking a tower crane, when you're using one of these cheap and nasty Chinese manufactured wolves and so on, they can become a real problem. But the favels and the favcos have got a bit of a margin for error, even when you go close to flipping it over. So well done to the people out there. They handled the issue. There was no disaster. It all went okay. And wind gusts are always a problem when you're using any type of craneage, any type of swing stage and so on. The wind is a major factor, and the wind has this week been extremely bad. And I think normally September and definitely October are the windy months, but there have been some huge gusts this week, a lot of heavy rain, and people need to take this sort of stuff into account. Righto, scallywags, let me guess. Matt Chisnell and GDP.
Oh, look, I don't often say it, but I want to declare him the winner already. But we forgot to mention another favourite of yours too, a bloke by the name of David McAuliffe. Not a probably well-known person in the industry, but he owns a tip out at Lara, and he's been caught on several occasions, been prosecuted for failing to follow the environmental procedures out there, because he doesn't want to spend 1 cent, because he's been broke about 5 times as a developer as well. And he still wears $500 pairs of boots. He's still got, so he's not doing too bad. He's got a few trust funds happening somewhere, I believe. Right.
Righto. Moving along, we've also got obviously RCR Tomlinson, who basically missed $200 million in absolute land speed record. Broad Spectrum, because they've offered their maintenance blokes. There's only 24 of them around Victoria at various defence establishments, 24 of them. They've offered them zero increase. That is the proposal that Broad Spectrum, used to be Transfield Services, have put to the employees of the company. Zero. So
they didn't make enough money from locking up refugees, so they're going to try and screw Aussie workers.
That's it. And our good friends, the plumbers, and ourselves are taking up the fight, so more in the near future. Next nomination is John Carey Civil. John, you're paying different rates all over the place, and brother, you have an EBA, work to the EBA. Now, also, main brace out at Forest Hill. I'll just leave it at this. It's a catastrophe. It's an absolute catastrophe. And also in that league is John Hollands down at the Hobart Hospital. The site had to be shut down. They sacked their safety manager. There's no one taking any responsibility for safety on the job from the company perspective. It's an absolute shambles. And at this point in time, there is no updated emergency evacuation procedure because it failed last time, and nothing's been replaced. It is an absolute shambles down there, and as I understand it, as a consequence, blokes are having to sit in the sheds till all these issues are sorted out, because it's also affecting the hospital, which is immediately adjacent to the site.
God, John Hollands, they're good, aren't they?
They're already over 100 days over time on that hospital, and not helped just a week ago by the ABCC coming in and performing an illegal stop work, where they just decided to pull everyone into the sheds and try to intimidate them and interview them. So, if we did that, you know what, we'd be up for millions of dollars in fines. ABCC, no problem. They can do whatever they want.
Well, I'm still getting over
But the good thing was the blokes didn't stay.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you wouldn't.
They stood there with all these amenities around them, and they got to read the union posters.
Yeah.
I'm still getting over the rorts of charging for the inductions,
Well, that has stopped. There's a message I've got on my phone from our organiser down there, Richie Hassett. The few things, the boys who were there working for a plasterer, are getting the rates. They're very, very happy. And two, the master builders are no longer doing the inductions and charging $141.
Great.
Righto.
You can get inducted.
Who's the winner?
Well, Buzz already called it.
Yeah, I'm going. I don't often do it, but I'm going to put my foot down today and say Matthew, what do I call his stupid second name?
Chisnell.
What? Tisnell. Yeah.
Chisnell.
He needs a new award all for himself.
Tisnell.
Just the weird award.
He's one of the weirdest blokes I've ever met, right? Do they learn any people skills going to that Geelong grammar or what?
We got to wrap this up.
Righto. Now, Suki Lala, I got to say, Hutchison's win it because they got a sham of a job out at Mount Waverley. It all turned to disaster, and they wanted to have a meeting. They've cancelled 4 meetings about it in the last 4 weeks. Okay, having a sook, hard luck. We go out the same old way. Dare to struggle, dare to win. If you don't fight, you lose. Good morning from the Concrete Gang, and we're going to go out with a little bit of a tribute to the Eureka Stockade, the anniversary of which is next week.
From every corner of the world, they came from all around. When in 1851 they struck gold upon the ground. Every voyage was a long one, months upon the stormy sea. Some to seek their fortune, others escaping slavery. What they found on the gold fields was ruled by brutish thugs, discrimination and taxation mixed with swinging billy clubs. The gold was getting scarcer and cops were getting worse. The diggers burned their licenses.
You've been listening to a 3CR podcast produced in the studios of independent community radio station 3CR in Melbourne, Australia. For more information, go to allthews.3cr.org.au.